Good evening. It is April 26th, and we are on Hawaiian time. We're supposed to start at 7:30, which is a little later than we usually do. And as usual, I had some technical difficulties, so we are now on, I think. Shane is in. He was ready to go. I told Shane he should be in charge because he's got everything set up. Maybe we'll do that next time. Maybe it'll work better. Jody, I believe, is here. We see her picture. I think she is listening, which is fine. Jody, you can come on if you like. If you want to chat on the YouTube link, you can. Things have changed. So, Shane, if you could tweet out the new YouTube link.
Absolutely, I can do
Maybe
that.
that will help. We have a couple of viewers already. Could be Anne and Michelle. Who knows? Maybe even Jody. But if we can get more people on, that would be great. Yeah, actually, we can. Oh, you can't put the link on the live chat, right? Is that what you said?
Yes, we cannot.
Okay. So what I think I'll do is I'm going to. No, I don't want to fool with anything right now.
I wonder if I can do this.
I feel a little paranoid about touching things.
I'm going to do this, and I'm going to. Kind of work. Nope.
Did you tweet it out?
Not yet, but I was trying to put it in the chat, and it said, even though I was trying to put extra spaces in there, I still didn't like that.
Oh, boo. Okay, we got 2 viewers, so that's fine. Alrighty, so our topic today is, I'll just talk until, well, Shane works. Our topic today is tech safety, which is a topic that I'm interested in because we're thinking about how our school is affected by it and how we're going to deal with it if we are, that sort of thing. So I'm very interested in the topic. And so we have our show notes all set up. And if you can see it's bit.ly/grh89 notes. And if you'd like to follow along there, that would be great. Michelle Colt may come on. I know definitely she'll be on the live chat. She says maybe a little bit late. Michael usually was set to come on, but he got the stomach flu bug or something, so he's not able to come on. Jody is, I think, with us with no video, but I think she's interested in what we have to say. So what's going to happen today is Shane and I are going to talk. Yes, she says yes via the chat. Like a little mouse today, Jody. You should come on and you add so much to us. Anyway, if you decide to show yourself, that'll be great. So Shane and I are going to do look at the show notes, see what has been shared. Shane is going to talk about his school. I'm going to talk a little bit as well. I'll go last. And we'll just bounce off each other and see what happens. It's very low key. And today we're a little late, so we'll see what happens. So Shane, maybe, did you tweet it out? I could tweet it out.
I sent
you
it
did.
out.
Yay. Okay, so we do have 3 viewers, so that's good. And of course, we're available afterwards if you want to view or look at the notes to see what we've shared. So Shane.
All right.
You're on.
Well, let's see. So my first one is, of course, I think pretty much everybody knows this one. Sorry, my daughter was singing in the background.
Oh, that's okay. You went silent there for a while. I'd rather have the singing. I don't mind the singing. Cute.
So I'm going to screen share here so we can all see what I'm looking at. Hopefully it's not too small. All right. So Common Sense Media. Although we're going to focus on the internet safety stuff, I'm going to point out some places to look at right now. It actually is a great place for families of school children and all the way up to teens to take a look at different things, movies, apps, websites, all this kind of stuff. Even some kind of advice for parents who are constantly asking a lot of questions, a lot of similar questions we hear a lot. And I'll talk about one of those later. So if you click on here, the family guide, you'll see the essential K-5 guide. And so you'll see the different grade levels here, pre-K, first grade, second grade. So they're gearing it towards different grade levels. And you can get different articles and different things to explore. How to choose educational games and websites, how parents can help kids learn at home, that kind of stuff. There's some great stuff like one-to-one technology, digital literacy. Love this glossary, the latest buzzwords. What do these things actually mean when kids are talking about them, when parents are, they're kind of sitting there thinking, hey, what is all that about? So it's really great. With that said, let me click on the first grade one, for instance. Then you have some science, technology, math, different subject areas. You can go check all this kind of stuff. Again, tech tips, tech support for parents, family guides, and that kind of stuff. But what we're actually talking about tonight is internet safety and online for our students. And so I don't know if you get this question, Linda, Jody, but I get this question a lot. I get the whole, how much screen time is too much screen time? So when you click on here, you can actually see all of these different topics. So for instance, news and media literacy, character strengths and life skills, technology addiction, interesting. I'm actually one of those people that thinks that word addiction is overused sometimes, when sometimes it's actually flow. The kids are in the flow. So screen time. Here's a great one, screen time. So how much screen time is too much? You see all these questions down here. I love that they've changed this. This was one of my pet peeves about just in general. Everybody just all screen time being considered the same, and this one here talks about the different categories of screen time now. So passive consumption, interactive consumption, communication, video chatting, content creation, because I definitely will tell you there's different versions of that stuff. Different screen time can be for different things. Privacy and internet safety is a big hot topic right now. As a matter of fact, we are going to have a cyberbullying assembly at our school on the 28th, which is in 2 days. And that's actually being put on by the police, the HPD. So if you call them, HPD will actually arrange to you. Hey, if we've got, I believe they were telling me they have 3 different assemblies that are already planned out, scheduled. They have officers that will come in and do them. There's a K to 2 one, there's a 3 to 6, and then there's a middle school and high school. So they actually have 4 of them. So those are kind of great. And we're going to have one of the officers come down. He was actually an officer that came to us for our code night. He actually showed off a bunch of stuff at code night for us too. So he's apparently a multi-purpose officer for us, which is kind of nice. So how to keep my kids safe on the internet. And if you click on this, each of these is an article. These are most popular. You can ask their experts, which is great. You can actually just click on this and send them a message. This is what, of course, you need to log in an account, which is free, but yeah. So it's great. You can see preschoolers here, 5 to 7, 8 to 9, 10 to 12, all different age levels. So a great site for articles, videos, that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure most people have actually used this, or at least anybody thinking about internet safety has used this. They also have a curriculum that can be used within the school system. So you can actually have, if you don't have an internet safety or digital citizenship curriculum, you can go in and use their stuff, which is awesome. So that's my first site. The second one was safekids.com. So safekids.com, one of the things I love about this is it's very simple. There's nothing too crazy. There's a lot of posts from different people, different aspects, different points of view. I love these contracts they have in here. So I've opened up a couple of them for you. Here's a young kid's pledge, a family contract for online safety. Having the kids go through this, parents go through this, they sign at the bottom, parents sign at the bottom. It's a great idea. It's a great idea. We actually do something like this in class as well when we do different types of things. It just kind of goes over some general basics, nothing too crazy. If you're in ed tech, you kind of heard a lot of this stuff, but it helps to go through with the parents too. and see the kinds of things that they might be aware of. This site also has a quiz. It's kind of really simple, but it does allow the kids to go through a quiz and ask questions. But again, a collection of articles, advice, that kind of stuff. Safe teens, I like that. And the last one I'm going to share is the kids.gov. Kids.gov is, of course, a government website. They put together a lot of stuff, cyberbullying. Notice there's cyberbullying on all of them, but I didn't want to focus on cyberbullying on every single one of them. But it is a problem. It is an actual problem that we should be aware of, and we should be talking to kids about, because, we've all probably had issues or had a moment where we've emailed something we wish we could take back. And sometimes that's a misinterpretation of somebody's previous email. Maybe you wrote that email when you were upset. I mean, these are kinds of things that you don't know how other people take this when they read it the other side of that email. And the anonymity that kids feel sometimes when they're writing this stuff, it really needs to be addressed and talked about. So I picked out a couple of things. I really like this, the FBI here, Cyber Surf Islands, which pulls up this. It's a Flash, website. You can sign up as a teacher, students, leaderboards, rules, and then basically if we just pick in, a third grade one, it's a little more interactive type of thing. We can go ahead and see this, all right? Gives you some directions. It's again, if I just gave a kid or a student or even a parent a website that was just text, nothing up but text, they're not really going to get interested in it. They may not even read it all. But if you sat down and played these games with your kids, and learned about the kinds of things that we're supposed to be talking about, things we're trying to prevent, I think those are the kinds of things that get kids engaged. And if you notice up here, there's actually an exam. You can take an exam on this one here. So I'm not going to take the exam. I don't want to show everybody the questions. So. Yeah, so those are the kinds of things that we have used a lot of this stuff in class. We use a lot of the common sense media, and then I've thrown in the FBI game, and I've thrown in some of the security advice. Some of the videos are really great to add to Google Classroom and have the kids take a look at them as a resource when you're talking about this stuff.
So do you take time?
Yep, go ahead.
I'm hearing.
Oh, sorry, that's the FBI thing. Let me go back out of that. It's playing some.
A lot of people can do that. They can just pretend they don't hear that feedback. It drives me nuts.
All right, it was
So
like
do you take
noises and stuff.
Sorry, do you embed your lessons or whenever you feel they are needed, or do you take time and have a separate unit, or how does that work for you, Shane?
So what we've set up is that actually the classroom teachers will do some general things at the very beginning of the year. They'll talk about password safety and don't let other people log onto your computers, that kind of stuff. You shouldn't be logging into other people's computers. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, by the way, so that we can, there, how's that? Can you see me again?
Yep.
But I actually do, a lot of times I'll do things like, for instance, when we first get into Minecraft, right? It's for third graders most importantly, but every year I kind of reiterate this to them, that you're now working in a virtual learning environment where there are other people around, and everything you do impacts them. So you shouldn't be thinking this is my world, this is my game. So that kind of online digital citizenship, and it's a lot easier to get across to them because they're right there in the same room. But I said, you shouldn't have any different stuff or any different reaction to people and the way you deal with them when they're not in the same room with you either. So, but yeah, we'll do it. A lot of the times I'll pull up a lesson after something happens at school too. And I know that seems a little more reactive, but it's something we've already covered. I'm just reiterating with you in case you forgot from the beginning of the year that, these are things we don't do. So, and it's not, I'm not going to say we don't have any issues, because we have 500 plus computers on campus. There's bound to be somebody that does something they shouldn't have done, and how you address that is important. I don't think you come down on them so hard that they never want to touch a computer again, but depending on the severity of it, you gotta address it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So you don't have a set curriculum, say for first, second, third grade, that sort of thing.
No, well, they've got base files, base lessons, and they teach them as they feel fit.
Who's they?
The classroom teachers.
Oh, okay.
I try
So
not
it's
to.
available to them.
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Do the parents get involved at all?
We are slowly starting to get parents more and more involved, and that's through sending home. You know, we use Google Classroom as a communication tool as well, and so a lot of the times we'll send stuff home to parents through that, and through bulletins, through website updates, or video links, that kind of stuff. And I think what we're going to try to do next year is incorporate it into our character ed as well. So if we're talking about grit, for instance, maybe we can show persistence and things like that. And we really try to work on our PBIS right now. Sorry, not project-based learning, on our behavioral stuff.
Interesting. Cool. I wonder if Michelle is on. I would love for her to come and look at the links, to explain the links that she showed there. So I put it in the live chat, and I haven't heard any response, and she's not on the notes itself. So maybe what I'll do is I'll do mine, and then we'll ask again if she's available.
Sounds good.
Then if she's not, then you and I will plug through it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and share my screen. And I am sharing the show notes, which I hope you can see.
Yep.
And so what I've done is I've done some research, and so I put down 5 things, and I actually have a 6th thing that I'll go to at the end to talk briefly about them. A lot of it's overlap from what you said, Shane. So at kidsusa.gov, not only do they have the kids grades K through 5 these are actually videos. So that's what I put down there, is videos that are available. So you can go ahead and go to teens, for instance, grades 6 to 8. And if you go to online safety, there are, you can learn things, and you can also watch videos on online safety. It's a little weird the way it's set up, because you have to choose watch video. I don't know. There's a sequence for it. So these, for instance, grades 6 through 8, these are the videos that are available. So nice and easy. The one thing about kids.gov, and I actually looked for it like a teens.gov, it wasn't available. I am definitely interested in grade 9 through 12, and it's not on this site, so I didn't particularly care for that. The neat thing about it, though, is if you click on teachers and go to online safety, there's lots for teachers to look at. Lesson plans. So if you click on lesson plans and online safety, I guess you have to choose that tab, and then so it's a little clunky. Okay, so these are lesson plans on online safety. So maybe I should click on this first for parents. I don't want to help. I don't want to help right now. Again, click on online safety, and these are the laws. And if I look for lesson plans, will they be on online safety? I'm not exactly sure where I am, but you get the idea that you can find in the different levels, from kids K through 5, 6 through 8, and teachers and parents, activities, workshops, lesson plans, and different things. So everything's cool to look at, but maybe a little bit difficult to maneuver to, unless you do the search up here that I'm looking for. Maybe they're, and go directly to what you want, you would get what you would like. So I thought that was a pretty cool set of sites, videos, and these links actually take you directly to them. So I went ahead and curated. So if you click on lesson plans, then it'll take you to lesson plans right away. So you don't have to wander about aimlessly like I just did. This I like, this Teen Internet Safety Tips from WebMD. I like the idea that it's WebMD, and this is for our kids. You know, by the time they get to us, they think they know it all, and a lot of things. Some of them have gotten the information in the elementary years, but not all of them, I found out. And I'll talk a little bit about that, how I discovered that. But this has a really basic, nice things that are basic that you should know, right? That you shouldn't keep your online identity secret. It's about passwords and usernames. Make sure that you not put anything on the internet that you don't want to see, because it's definitely not going away. Almost most of the time not going away, even if you try to delete it. It's as easy as a screenshot to keep it on there. Be good online just like you're offline. It's very basic common sense to us, but maybe for a younger person not. So it doesn't hurt to have this available to them to look at.
Right.
Be extremely careful about meeting someone in person. Your parents are ultimately responsible for minors online. Extra words of caution. Almost everything is traceable. People live in fantasy online. We know this. It could be someone else, even though they say it's a 15-year-old girl. It might be a guy. It might be a 60-year-old man. It's actually not that uncommon. So we ask teens to be wary about that. Nude photos and sex sites. Teens are experimenting just like they did when we were growing up, except that everything is instantly available all around the world. So definitely stay out, don't participate, and there are ways that you can actually report it. I'll talk a little bit about that. Is it safe to post photos of myself on the internet? Well, they're talking about sexual pictures. Of course, never. How do I report creepy or illegal things online? And this I thought was pretty cool. You can go to it's the Internet Crime Complaint Center, and actually file a complaint. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's a way to do something if you see something that is happening. This is a one about that's called cybertipline.com. I'll go to that, and it comes from the missingkids.org, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. So if there's anything serious that you witness or know of, those are a couple of places to go where you can seriously get some results. So I thought that was a neat thing that's available.
Mm-hmm.
And we came from Teen Safety Tips. I was interested, as I was doing my research, I was interested to see that WebWise came up, and it's something out of Ireland. And I thought it was kind of cool to just poke around to see what they're doing. We're not, it's not only United States is dealing with internet safety, and it looks like they have some cool things, just like, the kids.gov and the common sense that Shane was showing. They have videos available, advice, talking points. So if you're looking for something different, that maybe not, looking for different kinds of ways to focus on a particular problem, you might check this out, because they definitely do different things. So you might find some inspiration here. I thought that was a cool place to go. This was kind of neat. I just found this, and the way I found it was, as I usually do, I was on Facebook, and my friend Shannon Miller, who is a big wig in librarian world, she had posted it. I'm assuming that Jackie Murray is her friend. Actually, Jackie and I follow each other on Twitter. But it's one of those things where, you follow, but you don't necessarily see what they do all the time.
Right.
But I love this, that it actually has, for the little ones, it's a blog that she does. It's called, oh, okay. I thought it was something else. Okay, it's Jackie Murray. It was named something else. Anyway, She has an actual kindergarten lesson plan, and she's sharing what she does. First-time students access the internet. We visit appropriate videos to teach online safety. So this is an example of a successful, I'm assuming successful because, you know, she's sharing it, people are using it, ideas for people. Because what I noticed is, as I was doing research, there's lots. And it's easy to get confused as to, oh, where do I start or what do I do? So if you have ideas for lesson plans, you can pick and choose what you like. And these look like games like Shane talked about, and maybe some activities, which little ones, of course, not only little ones, older ones love as well. So second grade, another one, third grade lesson, she puts in creating an avatar as you discuss internet safety. That's kind of cool.
We do that.
You do that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like she embeds it as she goes along. So nice little tips all the way up to sixth grade with the sixth grade lesson. And here she has a safety unit, and she's put together some general rules for kids accessing the internet. Again, the same, don't give identifying information. Pretty basic stuff. Don't send your picture. Yeah, so I thought was pretty neat. So I put together this live guide, digital security and safety for our school. And actually I had this before, and and it was just there. And don't look at all these other ones because I put this up, I can't believe it, but it was 5 years ago. So, and so I updated it just for this, and also for later for our school. So there are 3 places that have those kinds of lists that I really liked. So for instance, there's the MD one that I like. There's one from UK, Staying Safe Online. And that is, again, a nice little list that you can use and very visually pleasing. So I thought it was cool to have. Here's a video that I put up. And this came from kids.gov that Shane was talking about. These are videos under the video box. And there's this actually on the left under cyberbullying. Was not as outdated as I thought. I took out a couple of links, but these are pretty much timeless. So it's about cyberbullying, the checklist. Brain Pop is always nice to. It's a wonderful site that has all kinds of activities and resources.
My daughter.
Your daughter what?
She loves that one. She taught me all about cybersecurity on the way to school while she watched the Brain Pop cybersecurity video when it was the
That's
video
cool.
one.
Very cool. Something from Reach Out, NetSmarts. I think you mentioned that, Shane. There's Cyberbullying Research Center dealing with bullying. This is the teen area of kids' health. So different ways of approaching it. So feel free to use this list for yourself to explore. On the right here, I have social media. I put a couple of sites there. This is from Facebook, Playing It Safe for Teens. They have their own little advice. And here's one from Instagram on how to stay safe. Yeah, so nice to have. Sexting is actually pretty common among kids. So here's some advice. And there's that cyber tip line that I was talking about. So the safeteens.com has these, and comes from Connect Safely. They're all kind of intertwined. So a lot of these pick and choose what they like, or they'll borrow from each other, and which is perfectly fine. They give us, actually it's a sister site. So it's nice to see that a lot of organizations are working to keep us safe. Although when I was looking up, a lot of the things I saw was outdated and not good. So I like this, that I put it together so that we can all see it in one place. Now, reporting incidents, crimes, and I talked a little bit about the Internet Computer Crime Center, but I wanted to point out, and reporting a safe Snapchat safety concern, again, the cyber tip, how to report things on Facebook, but I wanted to point out this, how to report a fraud or scam. And so it has all kinds of ways to, places, all kinds of scams
Right.
that, and how do you report them? So reporting crimes, identity theft. So for instance, if you want to report identity theft, there are all kinds of information. There's probably a form. You need to contact your credit card users. So it's a nice, quick, reputable place to go, consumer fraud reporting organization, to know what to do when something goes wrong, or to recommend to people as teachers and librarians. Then we can recommend to people how to report it. And good to have. Hope you don't need to use it, but it's kind of makes you safe just to know that that's available. Yeah, so that's pretty much it that I have. I do have one more thing I wanted to show. I'll just stop. How do I stop sharing now? Stop sharing. There's screen sharing. Okay. One thing I wanted to talk about, and I don't know if, I guess Michelle's not on yet, but before we go to her list, I wanted to share this, some of the thoughts that our kids at school have given me about tech safety. So what I did was I went to the kids who come to the library. I didn't ask any middle schoolers, so because that's grade 6 through 8, and they're not quite. I didn't want to get the tips from them. I wanted to get the tips from the high schoolers. So I asked them what their top tips were, and it was interesting. Several people did say, about the passwords. Somebody said use common sense, and I said to him, well, not everybody has common sense. Somebody says, don't go to illegal websites, they'll crash your computer. Someone said, write passwords on paper in a separate place. I don't know. What do you think about that, Shane? Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah, no. I am, actually, it was very interesting. I think where would I see it? I wish I would have thought of that video for this show, but there was a video that I saw about creating a secure password that you will remember. And of course, everybody's always, oh, I'm not going to remember that. I'm not going to remember that. And it was a formula that they said, do this, pick a word, at least 8 characters, then do this, this, this. And next thing you know, you have a password that's you'll remember, but that's encrypted. And it was things like changing the S to a $sign and 1 to, we've seen a lot of this stuff if you've done a lot of online things. And, it was a really interesting link. If I find it, I'll put it in the show notes later. But,
okay.
Yeah, passwords is one of those things I really don't think they should ever be written down.
Right. And then someone said you could get a password manager. I tried, like LastPass. I tried LastPass, didn't work for me. So I don't know if that's a good thing.
Right. Well, the interesting thing with those types of things is how long is it going to take before somebody hacks in and figures out how to take that data off of your.
Right. Also,
1Password, they have all of them. So.
Right, but we said 1Password, but the Facebook scam or friend request thing, that's pretty common. So they recommend that you change the password. So what, do you change your main password again?
Well, I've had some people say, they just change one aspect of it. It makes it hard. Other people will just totally change the entire thing, and I still, to this day, I still meet people that say, oh, when they log in, their password is password.
Oh boy, or 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow, are you kidding? Oh, well, I guess you're not overly worried about it, about getting hacked or anything. So,
yeah.
Okay,
so
was there more?
Yeah, there's quite a few. I'm just picking and choosing here. Beware of sites that pretend to be a certain kind of site but are not.
Yes.
Beware of sites that promise free stuff. They're up to no good.
Mhm.
Don't sign in on any other site. I don't know my notes. I probably didn't know what I was talking about then.
Speaking of
Okay. Ask permission before posting.
nice.
Yeah.
And how old were these kids? Were these
I'm
were your
sorry.
high schoolers? These were your high schoolers?
Yes, freshmen through seniors, mainly sophomores and ninth graders, which I thought was really cool. They have some good advice.
Mhm.
Don't fall for virus alerts.
Right. That's
Right. Make your accounts private, like Instagram and such. I thought that was really good. Keep your intimate photos to yourself. Don't do naked photos.
that's
Colleges look at posts.
right.
If you're cyberbullied, don't take it personally. Report it if it's off campus. By the way, our policy at our school is it doesn't matter if it's on or off campus. It's still considered part of our community. And I asked them, one of the things I asked them about was if they agree with the cutoff for social media, if they thought 13 was it. And they were good with that. They said they didn't think, in fact, they thought that, and I thought I was surprised by this, and these were, liberal kids who I thought would be more open, but they said, no, the internet's a scary place. It don't go on it until, you're older. And they recommended going into high school, 14.
Right.
So that was interesting. Watch out for fake places in Google Earth, like Pokemon Go. Remember Pokemon Go lures people and robs them?
Mm-hmm.
So that was insightful. Get ad blocker. A couple of kids said that. Use ad blocker to block the ads. That's not really a safety thing, I don't think. Maybe
Right.
it is. I'm not sure. Because, it's for, could lead to other things, I guess.
Yes.
Let's see, 12 is good. Oh, there's actually quite a bit. Let me just show, say a couple. I asked them if they had gotten how did they know about the information? Had they had elementary school training on it? Some of them said they did. Some of them said they didn't. And some of them thought it was up to the parents to make sure that the kids, were safe, which I thought was really interesting.
Rather than the school's responsibility, I thought it was
Right. Not the school's full responsibility. So I thought that was cool. Don't touch those pop-up ads. Oh, and if it says there's a virus alert, never say okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
What is the procedure?
Honestly, we've had this happen at our school where somebody had come to me with a computer and said, "Oh, there's a virus alert on this," but I mean, we don't really do stuff that we get a lot of. So somebody had visited a site and it was a pop-up. So it's essentially a pop-up. What I tell a lot of the kids, what I'll do with it is I'll just do a Control-Delete and close down anything that's running, right? And then I'll stop it that way. You could just do a hard reset, really, if you want to. It's not the best thing for your computer, but at least it stops. Now, here's the problem: is that if you clicked on something that caused that to pop up, most likely there's an exe file that's been also added, or some kind of
Already.
file already that may happen and may come on when it restarts the computer, right?
Yes.
So, if that's the case, I've literally told people that nowadays if they get a virus, I'm most likely just going to image your computer, because me trying to track down all the little things that could happen is going to take me far more time than if I just wiped it out and started over.
Right. So never say okay.
I would never know.
Never say okay if it says you have a whatever it might be. It's like a danger alert. Never say okay. What I do is I quit out of Chrome.
Yep.
I do and then open it up again. If it's still there, then I will restart the computer. That usually takes it away.
Well, here's an interesting thing too to add to that. So here's another way that I'm going to share my screen real quick here. And this happened, and so we had to look at this. So a lot of the times or not a lot of times, but sometimes you'll see one of the things they do is they take over your browser. And at first you're looking and you go, okay, well, maybe it's an extension. So you look in extensions here and you don't see anything. You're like, nope, I don't see any extensions here that would be bad, right? These are all my extensions.
Mhm.
Right? And so Google Chrome, okay, don't see anything. But up here at the very top, there's this developer mode. When you click on that, it actually unlocks a bunch of extensions. I don't have any because I keep mine pretty clean, but we found that some of the student computers had this one that was QRJ769234, and it did not have an actual, none of this information was filled in. It was allowing itself to do a whole bunch of stuff, but you could not see it without developer mode enabled. And what it was doing was I would type in, Mominani website, and instead of going to the Mominani website, it would go to a site they wanted you to go to, regardless of what you typed in.
So you recommend going into developer mode in your Chrome extensions to see what's going on?
I turn it on and I leave it on because I know what I
Oh,
want on there, and I will.
I didn't even know about it. See, I learned something.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, so there's a
Good
lot
to
of
know.
things that can be kind of dangerous, in here. And so once I cleaned that out, it actually had wiped out the what had been taken over in the browser, and so that helped out. Yeah.
Neat.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that our senior said, and I said, wow, you're the only one who said that. Don't text and drive. Yeah.
Yes.
That's ultra important. That's probably the number one safety issue, physical safety issue.
Right.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of articles now popping up about cell phone safety. And the kids, should be very aware, and adults too. It's great that Starbucks offers free Wi-Fi, and it's great that McDonald's has that, but people should be pretty aware of what free Wi-Fi means. That means that there's a minimal amount of security involved in that.
Right. Easy to.
Yeah, it's a lot easier than it is if you have a safe, router connection at home, that kind of stuff. One thing that I've definitely told a couple of parents and talking to them is we get those messages about how, your bank statement wants you to come and, log in here, and they'll send you the link through an email. I never, ever try to click on those types of links through an email. I'll actually go to the website, log myself into the official website, go through that kind of standard, and then try to find that same message on my account that was sent to me. Because if they're doing it properly, it'll be there. If it's a scam, chances are it won't be anywhere on your account.
Yeah. One of the things that the kids said is to cover your cam with the Post-it note because Zuckerberg does it.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
So there's been recently some stories about hackers who have been able to take over your webcam, and so by taking over your webcam, they can see what you're doing. It kind of a reverse of what you would normally try to use this thing for, right? Which is to get outside. They want to get inside and see what's happening. So all they would see is my trinkety toys and stuff over here. So.
And it's a program, right?
Yeah.
But what I didn't realize is it's also possible via your phone.
Yes.
So like here, yeah. Your phone, this thing.
I have an interesting question for you, and maybe Jody would finally pipe up for this one. I'm hoping we get her to speak. Maybe Ann over there in the chat. How much, and I'm playing total devil's advocate here, I understand that there's a lot of dangers on the internet, and you need to be savvy and understand that kind of stuff. But how much of this stuff do you think causes an unnatural fear of the internet as well, and technology in general? Because as someone who trains other people, and someone who's going out there and trying to, encourage people to use technology, I get a lot of resistance based on that complete fear that they are not going to be able to avoid any of this nasty stuff.
From adults or from kids?
From adults, yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
The kids are like, whatever, but
the adults are afraid. The kids are not.
Right.
That's the thing.
So do you think
even if we I'm sorry?
Do you think that helps or hurts that?
I think the basics, we should definitely make sure they know the basics. And then beyond that point, I think it is important to take the pulse of your community to see what's available. So I think it's a good idea, like this survey, this thing it gives me a good idea of where we are with our kids, which I ordinarily would not do unless I asked them.
Right.
But I think whatever response the school makes has to do with the people who are in it to start. So getting an assessment of what they think is needed. The parents don't usually know because they, the parents are definitely easier to scare than the kids.
Right.
So I would say get a sense of the entire community, see what needs to be done. We have these lists here, but of course you're not going to be looking at all of them.
Right.
See what your community needs and do a Google search and say, okay, I need this particular video to be shown because I think we could learn from it. I think that's the key, is to be individual about it. Because if you just did a Google search, for instance, out just because you wanted to do, teach safety, that just doesn't work.
Right.
It's so much a part of their lives now. I don't think the kids see it as being unsafe. The danger, I think, is for the parents to pretend that it doesn't exist.
No, absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. I get kind of I always get kind of a curious look to some kids when I'll talk about a social media that I'm using. Maybe I'm using Twitter or Snapchat or something like that, and the kids will go, "Oh yeah, last weekend when I was Snapchatting with my cousin," and I stop and kind of look, right, thinking, "Oh, how did you get a Snapchat account?" They'll kind of at first shut up and they kind of just go quiet, and then the story comes out. Oh, my mom, lets me. I'm like, whatever, blah blah. And okay, but just so you know, and when you were asking when do I teach, that's exactly when I would start teaching.
Right. In the moment.
How that, yeah. This is
Definitely.
just to be careful, regardless of what you're doing. I also do it when we create our student websites, and they start posting up information. We talk about what we don't post up. Don't post up your full birthday. You can say I was born in June, but you don't have to say I was born June 15th, 1973, right? You don't need to say all of that. So yeah, it's interesting. I just wondered. I just asked Anne. She didn't answer me, but I was kind of curious. Does all this stuff cause more fear, or does it reassure you because you can do it safely? It can be done, and it can be done safely. So.
Well, it's all about education and making sure everyone's on the same safety level.
Right.
Not everyone is, so.
No.
Because there'll be people that say, oh, I heard that, I know all of this. This is common sense. They may say that, but then I learn something all the time.
Right.
I didn't know about the developer mode, for instance, and I think we do need to keep open to have that mindset of keeping open to learning new things and not saying, oh, I know all about it.
Right.
And waiting to be reactive when, oops, a credit card scam and all that, which has happened to me. The trick is not to get all crazy about it. Know how to deal with it, because you're not the only one that it's happened to. Just know the avenue to take.
Right.
It's just being smart.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think education is going to, if it's going to make them scared, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. So let's look at Michelle's links. You want to share, or should I share?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and share the notes and try to make a good description, or see what it's all about. Okay, so Michelle put up 4 links, which is cool, and a quote. It's not about the technology. It's about good parenting, teaching, communication, conversations, and building relationships. So yes, definitely. Definitely not about the technology. So we shouldn't be afraid and say no technology.
Right.
Because you're going to, maybe that's what this addresses what you're saying, Shane, about scaring them so much that they're become Luddites, because you can't become a Luddite in a world like today. In order to function as a citizen, you have to be able to use technology. And these kids know nothing else but. The kids that I work with, they all were born in this century.
Yeah.
Which is scary for me.
And then,
but that's all they know.
that goes with anything, not just technology, not just safety, but if you're communicating with your child, your students, I believe that, and you have that relationship, of course they're going to, appreciate what you're telling them, and they're going to tell you and
Right.
talk to you and stuff. I feel like my daughter, when things happen, she'll come to me and talk to me about it. But I think when a parent takes that first step and says, I don't want you on, and they
Right.
get that defensive battle type of
Right.
stand, that's when you start causing that, well, I'm just going to do it behind your back type of thing, right? And I would rather you tell me up front what you're doing and let me talk to you about what you can do to be safe about that.
Right. That's a great quote.
Yes, that's very good. I like that.
Great quote.
Mhm.
Scooter. Okay, so okay, we talked a little bit about net. Were you talking about net smarts, Shane?
I think it was in one of the links that it was one of
Okay,
the sub.
okay, so that's available. I'm curious about this. Oh, NetSafe Utah. This is recommended by Rachel. I should have invited Rachel. Maybe Rachel's there. It's so cute, and I just looked at the live chat.
Yeah.
And we're so interesting that Anne is dozing off. Oh, jet lag. I
Yeah.
agree with Linda. I think kids don't think bad things will happen to them. But in one class, the kids went off on cyberbullying. Yeah. It only takes one little person who wants to show off or whatever
Mhm.
to make things go crazy. Okay, let's look at this NetSafe Utah and see what it's all about. Cool. Okay, I love that it's similar to the others. I love that it's all in one place. You don't have to be clicking here, there, and everywhere to get to things. So
Very
here
nicely
are the
labeled.
tabs, very nicely done for visual, which is really great. The NetSafe Utah provides online videos and resources for kids, teens, parents, and educators, including internet safety information that Utah schools need to meet the Children's Internet Protection Act requirements. So it looks like Utah is ahead of us, ahead of me. I'm not sure about Hawaii. I don't think we're doing anything official in Hawaii, are we?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So it looks like the entire state has got on board and has put together this wonderful site. Thanks for sharing this, Rachel. Kids can go and look at videos and look at how to stay safe, get help, places to visit. Teens as well, parents, in addition, there's parent resources. Jane talked about games. There's games, teens, not only teens, everyone loves games. So there's a trainer's toolkit, a nice overall site, and it looks like it's funded by all of these people at the bottom. So yeah, when you get a bunch of people behind you to create something, that's really cool. So let me see about public awareness. It's very well put together. It's really quite wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. I'm definitely going to look at that, and actually I'm probably going to put it on my live guide as well. Great share, Rachel. That's awesome. Okay, so 13 reasons why. Okay, so this looks like, oh, okay. This is about, I read the book.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I read the book, which is a wonderful, wonderful book about a girl who committed suicide, and I haven't seen the Netflix, but the book is really wonderful because it has the different people that talk about, well, we didn't know, or and just little itty bitty steps toward why she committed suicide. And the interesting thing is that it was real. It didn't feel contrived. It felt like, oh, okay, this could happen to me. This is very common. So that's a great share. Um, Thank you, Michelle, for sharing that. And there's a guide that goes with it. That's very cool. Very nice. Gives parents a chance to discuss suicide, which is a very touchy subject.
Yes.
And this is definitely a different way of doing that. And I think it relates to kids. I know the book was fantastic. I did not know about the, oh, Michelle's, I know she's on the, oops, sorry. Oh, she's on the website. So I know you're there, Michelle. Okay. I see you on the thing. Okay, I'm gonna close out this little thing so I can see all of it. Alrighty. And then the novel, of course. This is what I read. And I don't read. I know I'm a librarian, but I don't read and I'm impressed by too many books. But this one was really wonderful, and I think, yeah, it does affect you and makes you understand how a person would get to that point.
Yep.
Which is really puts you. It's an empathy kind of thing. Which puts you in the place of the person. I Am That Girl is another site that Michelle shared, a site to empower girls to love, respect themselves, and navigate social media, body imaging, shaming, anxiety. So let's go to that. It's an actual website. This is neat. So they have different chapters. Let's see, and I'm guessing that they can go, or you can start a chapter or join a chapter. And this is designed for girls ages 14 to 22. A very vulnerable age for girls. So this is wonderful. There's 244 local chapters. 2,000 plus girls are sponsored. So I'm guessing that sponsored, does that mean that you can sponsor a person to be part of that or get pledges?
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we can help if we want to. If we want to, help people, we can make donations, make it anonymous. I like that. That we can make a difference, even though we might not have a personal connection about us. Let's see. There's a team, very nice setup here. Movement inspiring girls to love, express, and be exactly who they are. Very nice. It's a nonprofit. I did not know about this. This is great. So I think I'm going to put this on my live guide for safety and maybe, I don't know, maybe not safety, something else about being yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It all kinds of, yeah, safety as in making sure that it's about not bullying, basically, yeah? Because that's what brings about a lot of this. Being, safe in who you are. Wonderful site. Let me go back. I don't know if I got everything that I wanted out of it. There's a blog. You can get definitely personally involved in that. I Am That Guy. There's an I Am That Guy pledge as well. You can take the pledge. And they're out of Santa Monica. I'm wondering who set it up. I guess the organization did adults set it up or girls set it up? Not sure. Okay. But feel free to look through that. And let's go to NetSmarts. I think we've covered everything except NetSmarts. And let's see what this leads us to. And yes, it's part of that missing and exploited children setup. And so this is for parents and guardians. Choose an issue. Okay, so these are the different issues like social media, inappropriate content, cell phones, file sharing, revealing too much. I'm always let's click on the revealing too much and see where that takes us. Looks like they're sharing tips, discussion starters. So it's like the forum area.
Right.
Tips for teens, tips for tweens. Again, the same idea of a nice little place to go to find out more about it. Cool. Okay, very good. We got some really cool ideas and places to go, which is what we're aiming for.
Yep. Good set of reasons.
Thank you so much to Michelle and Rachel and you, Shane, and Jody for being on. I think that we're done. We did start late today, but we did make it. I'm going to do it right next time, I hope. Either that or I'm going to take it hand it over to Shane. We're going to go for, last time I made the mistake of saying that our last show was going to be the next one. Well, I forgot about April. Our last show for the school year is really going to be May. It's that last Wednesday in May. I think it's the 24th. Topic to be decided yet. I thought we had a pretty successful exploration tonight. What do you think, Shane?
I think we did too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
There's really a lot, and I think we gave our curation, our ideas on how we do it, and maybe hopefully gave people some ideas of how they can explore on their own.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what we're aiming
Also
for.
good, if nothing else, good starters for them to find, you know, if they're looking
Right.
at a specific
Right.
topic. Well,
Right.
so
Very
absolutely.
good. Okay, so I think we're done for tonight, and we'll see you in about a month. And check Twitter to see what the topic will be. It's usually a few days ahead of time, but it'll be something good. Maybe some end of the year kind of thing. And actually, we're looking for ideas for people who want to share on our show. If you're have a program or want to discuss something like tech safety, or another topic that's interesting to you, and want to or want us to discuss it, if you want to be on, or if you know somebody who wants to be on, we're definitely open to that, because this is an open discussion, educational discussion that we want to be engaging for people and relate to people, something they are interested in and want to get something out of. Okay, so we shall say aloha for now, and we'll see you in a month. And take good care and stay safe online.
Bye.
Bye-bye.